Here, 1065 here. Today we have an unboxing all the way from Japan. I know the camera looks a little bit weird because there's a lot of lighting right here, but either way, let's go get into this. So this was just delivered not long ago, like, it's about 5 minutes or so. I got these off from Japan, and of course I import them, so their cost before shipping was like $45. Not bad for what these are. But what I will say is that it's heavy. This is like heavy. And one thing I can say is, so of course you're all gonna see the title. These are Robosapiens, but not just any ordinary Robosapiens. They're Japanese Robosapiens. They were obviously made by WowWee, but distributed by Tomy. So we'll start with the first bag, and there's 4 of these fellas. Here are the remotes. Get into these. Alright. Oh, okay. Oh, this remote works. That is interesting. And there's like some sticker on the back on this one. But yeah, these are all discolored. But when I say they're Japanese, look at that. Everything is in literal Japanese, which is really cool. Here we have, aha, the first one that I find interesting. This one that has pretty much it's wired up. So real curious to see how this one works. This is interesting. And the adapter for it, and it literally says, oh, this one says jet. Okay, seems to be like a few resistors maybe. So this is a 100 volts, so I'm really curious how this one works, because they say this one, when you plug this remote in, the robot just goes into initial demo mode, which I find interesting, but if you put batteries in it, it'll work normally, so I'm not sure how that works. And here we have another remote. They're Japanese one, this one's just normal. Yeah, 2004 WowWee Limited. But yeah, like I said, these remotes stand out from the others, because these are in Japanese. So for a lot of you who are probably wondering, so it's like, what are these? So what they are, which I will be posting info much later on, these Robosapiens were used in Japan as a display. I don't think it was a store display, but thinking of their toy fair, I think when I was wanting to release these in Japan, of course, these were called Robosapien Huma, Huma, and in the display they had, there was like a whole tower of them, and I think these ones, they're all hardwired. They're not like battery operated. Oh my god, I'll do that for now. Okay, so here we have one adapter. Yeah, this is by Takara. Takara is the one that distributed these in Japan, surprisingly. You got one adapter, 2 adapters, 3, and 4. So we get 4 adapters, and the remote has its own adapter wired into it. So let's take a look at these fellas. Here we got the first one coming out of the box. Oh my gosh, these are weighted. Huh, very interesting. So here we have one of them. Of course, these are like yellowed. Let me get their head in position. There we go. Yeah, they feel really heavy. Of course, this one's missing a little notch, little bumper. But yeah, here's the Robosapien, and here is the cable that comes out of it. This is really interestingly done. And of course, around where the back compartments are at, wires are coming out directly from the cover. I'm curious, because the seller did say that there was like a battery in them, but it's just there for weight. And I'm curious if it's like just a weight, or if it's like entirely something else. And I'm also kind of curious as to how these are connected, if they're like just running through the legs of the robot into the board, or what. And it was also mentioned that some worked and some didn't. Let's take a look. Oh, what the heck? Huh. So the robots themselves do have a battery, like full-on physical batteries, but they're not like, oh, okay, so they're just there for weights. That's interesting. The whole ribbon thing wasn't really used, so that's interesting. Yeah, and so these have not corroded, and it's just soldered to the contacts. Huh. Interesting. I was really thinking these were going to be wired completely different. Very interesting. Of course, given that these are Takra adapters and everything, so this had to be buying. It's still really interesting, nevertheless. I might try to plug one in and see what happens. So now it makes sense why they were really heavy. It's because he had like full-on batteries in them. Let's grab one of these adapters and see what happens. Really interesting. Okay, let me make sure the adapter's in good shape before I plug it in. Not going to be long enough, I think. Okay. I think they're probably going to fall over. But okay, so I probably have to move them a lot more further back than I was hoping. Huh. Oh, it's maybe they look dirty. What the heck? There you go. Okay. So which one of these work? I think it was this one. He's still able to move his feet. Interesting. High pitch, interesting. Alright, so we get this. So something I'm now curious is the remote on this one itself. Anything's in there. Let me try plugging this one in and see what it does. Let's be kind of a little cautious with these because I honestly don't know much about them and not sure what they will do. Oh, that is interesting. They're just putting it in that demo. But nothing else happened. That's what it does. Oh. Okay, so it does it on a random point. That makes sense. Very interesting. So this one just gives him signal. This one just gives it signals to, you know. Okay, what's over here? Gives it signals just so it'll do that one demo. That's really interesting. Alright, let's unplug you. I might end up redoing some of the wiring in this, so it seems a little bit more, what's it called? not feasible, but a bit more appropriate. Alright. We still have a few others. A lot of these dudes are like really dirty. There's the other big chunk. This one has everything on it. So it works. Except for this arm. Okay, so this one has some wiring issue going on with the arm. Yep. Yeah, it's broken cables in the arms. And something they did mention is that some of the rubber grips on these are like falling apart. So these really were very well used robots. Okay, cool. So this fellow works. Nice. I think the two at the bottom are the ones that do not. I thought that was a bug, but no. So here's this one. I think this one has a cable around the speaker for some reason. So ooh. Okay, so this one's motor, this one has a burnt out motor. Strip game the torso from what I can tell. Okay. So this one does turn on, which is good, because I think this was the one you mentioned that didn't work. Alright, let's get the last one out. Feels a little bit funny. Yeah, there's like bits of rubber just falling out. It looks like I can tell. Oh. Shoot, this one has it bad. This one also. Oh, poor dude. Broken spring holder. I actually have never owned a V1. Oh. That doesn't sound good at all. Okay, so there's some broken pieces that are wrapped inside of them. Okay, switch seems to be fine. Hey, this one did turn on. But his eyes aren't on, which is funny. Yeah, look, his eyes kicked on. What the heck? That's interesting. But it just keeps kind of like... Something with his hands, that's for sure. Wow. Really interesting. Very, very interesting. And yeah, there's like a lot of bits of rubber that's flaked off from their grips. Oh my gosh, just about all of them. Without missing. I'm not gonna really do anything about that. Anything else in the box I missed? No. Trash. What's this? There's like a bag in here. I think it's really important. This is Japan Airlines. Actually, I might save this bag, because why not? Yeah, there's like a lot of bits. And there you have it, guys. Let's see, what does this say? This one has tape on it, and I think the tape on here was pretty much put on by the seller. Oh my god, that is so cool. Always literally saying Japanese branded batteries. Look at that. I'm not sure what brand it is, but it's still pretty epic. And like I said, the one that still has me intrigued is the controller. So let me see. Let me see what my runtime is. Okay. Let me see. Before I stop this video, I'm curious to see what this is all about. This is interesting. Of course, I believe WowWee. Of course, I know, I think it was Tacker WowWee, something around those lines. They got commissioned for this, and this is authentically by Takara due to the fact that on the box for Robosapien Huma in Japan, at least says Takara. So these are legit. These are legit, and I found these randomly. I was just doing random Google searches on the V1s, and out of nowhere, this Law 4 came up. I'm like, oh, cool, Law 4 V1s. And then when I took a closer look, I was like, wait, why do you have cables sticking out? So they're pretty much just modified V1s, but they're still pretty unique, because this is something you don't normally see, and I'm almost positive they're part of their display at Toy Fair when these were unveiled in Japan. And there's like a whole stack of them. There was even including a custom green one where the little tag beside says how would you customize your Robosapien, I think is what it said. It said something like that along the lines. Very cool. Let's see, how makes you tick. What? That is interesting. So this controller doesn't work like a normal one. Dang. This literally has a small integrated board on it that sends out the signal for it that's like been programmed. That is interesting. It has something else around here because it's spliced and it has something else. I think those are resistors. Yeah, I think those are resistors, but golly, that is something. Of course, the remote, if I were to do this like one chip and everything on it, it will work normally, but that is cool. I mean, look at this, guys. You guys have got to see this. You see, there's a small integrated chip. And that's what pretty much controls the signals for a robot. So I was wondering why the heck it wasn't letting me, what can we call it? Letting me put in the sort of like input command, but this is done on a timer for it. Very interesting. Yep. Very cool. I think later on today, at some point, I might try and make a video where all these are all plugged in and just have this remote making them all go off. That is really cool. Really neat. And of course, on that display, I don't know how many V1s there were, but there was a lot of them, and I'm almost positive these are 4 from that display. So it's really cool. This is an amazing piece of WoWie history to have. I mean, so far there's a lot of pieces of WoW history I currently own now. I have these. I actually have one. I actually have a shirt that I think employees would wear, or retailers, something. And it's not custom because it feels way too authentic. And of course, the shirt company is based in Canada, and of course, WoWie's headquarters is in Canada, so it would make sense. Golly. Just screws off. Well, not sure what else to say, but this was pretty neat. Really like this a lot. Really cool. I just gotta figure out where the heck I'm gonna store these dudes for now, because there's too many. I have too many V1s now in this house. It's really interesting that there was 3 remotes, but then one's modified. So interesting. So the fact there's 4 robots and 3 controllers. So I feel like one controller must have gone missing or something. But really cool to know this one is the one that literally just sends off the signal to all of them. I'm not sure how they would do that, because this is just such a small remote, and even I tend to struggle at times to get all of them to do something at once. There you have it, guys. Unboxing of 4 Robosapien display pieces from Japan. And there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.